Welcome to the Deep Dive. You're here because you want to speak and understand English. Well, more like a native speaker, right?
Exactly.
Maybe you're just tired of feeling like you're constantly translating in your head, or you just want that effortless flow in conversations.
Yeah, that natural feeling.
So our mission today is really to cut through all the noise. We want to deliver the most actionable, the fastest fluency tips we could find, straight from Teacher Sam's playbook.
Right. We've basically distilled it down to 12 specific strategies. And these aren't just about studying harder, not really. It's more about learning smarter and integrating English into your actual life in a really profound way. Think of it as like your shortcut to the insights that genuinely speed up fluency.
12 focused tips. And each one has the potential really to shift how you learn and, maybe more importantly, how quickly you see progress.
Definitely.
Now, as we get started, just think about this for a sec. What's one specific situation where you wish your English felt more natural? More working.
Good question to keep in mind.
Yeah, hold on to that thought as we unpack these. Okay, let's dive right into tip number 1. Surround yourself with English daily.
This one might sound a bit obvious on the surface, but it's really about harnessing the power of just constant exposure. Teacher Sam emphasizes making English, well, everywhere in your environment.
Right, everywhere. It's not just about sitting down for a lesson sometimes.
Exactly. Think beyond that.
It's about consciously weaving English into the fabric of your day.
Yeah.
Simple things, right? Change your phone language.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Binge watch that English show, but without the dubbing. Listen to English podcasts on your commute.
Even scrolling through English social media accounts.
Totally. And here's where it gets kind of interesting. It's not just about passively hearing the sounds. By being constantly around English, your brain actually starts to pick up patterns. It makes connections almost subconsciously.
And what's fascinating there is the shift, from that very active, I must study now mode to something more passive but continuous. It's always on.
Like how we learned our first language, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Constant immersion is key. And the life-changing impact Teacher Sam talks about is that gradual move. You start thinking directly in English, that need to translate first, it just starts to fade away.
Which, well, that leads us perfectly into tip number 2.
Yeah.
Think in English, not in your native language.
Ah, yes. This is where you actively, consciently start to rewire your internal monologue.
Rewire it. I like that.
Yeah. Because as Teacher Sam points out, that constant mental back and forth, translating everything, it just creates this bottleneck. It slows you down, makes you hesitate.
You sound less confident.
Right. The goal is to bypass that completely. Just directly form the thought in English.
It feels a little strange at first, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to, describe the coffee you're drinking or narrate what you're doing around the house, all in English, but just inside your head.
It does take practice, but Teacher Sam has this really practical suggestion. Keep a thought journal.
A thought journal. Okay.
Yeah, nothing fancy. Just jot down short English sentences about your day, how you're feeling, maybe your to-do list. Simple stuff.
That actually raises a really important point about learning efficiency. We often focus so much on memorizing lists of words.
Right, vocabulary lists.
But this exercise targets the actual cognitive process,
Yeah.
how you produce language. It's training your brain to make that immediate link,
Yeah.
thought, straight to English expression.
Exactly. You're building a new neural pathway, basically. One English thought at a time.
Okay, cool. So tip number 3 is about being smart with vocabulary. Master high-frequency words and phrases.
This is where that Pareto principle comes in. The 80-20 rule. It totally applies to language learning.
How so?
Well, Teacher Sam highlights the stat. A pretty small core, maybe around 3,000 words, actually covers something like over 90% of everyday English conversations.
Wow. 90% from just 3,000 words.
Yeah. So focusing on those core high-yield words gives you the most bang for your buck, linguistically speaking.
And it's not just single words either, is it? It's also those common chunks of language.
Absolutely. Common expressions, idioms, even a little bit of slang that native speakers use constantly without even thinking.
Right. Those things really inject a sense of naturalness into how you speak.
Totally. And Teacher Sam gives a great fluency boost example. Instead of always saying, I'm very tired.
Which works, but maybe sounds a bit, I don't know, textbook.
Yeah, maybe. Try using more idiomatic stuff like I'm exhausted or even I'm beat.
I'm beat.
Okay.
It's about upgrading your everyday language with those more natural alternatives.
That's the idea.
Okay, let's move on. Tip number 4 sounds a bit unusual, but apparently it's super effective. Use the shadowing technique.
Shadowing. Yeah, it's a really powerful way to fine-tune your pronunciation, your intonation, the whole rhythm of English, really.
So how does it actually work?
The method's pretty simple. You listen to a short audio clip or video of a native speaker,
Okay.
and you immediately repeat what they say right after them. But you try to mimic everything, their tone, their speed, even the little pauses and inflections, as closely as possible.
So you're basically being their echo, like literally.
Pretty much, yeah. But Teacher Sam explains it goes beyond just mimicry. You're actively training the actual motor skills involved in speaking.
Muscles.
Yeah, the muscles in your mouth, your face, getting them used to moving in a more native-like way.
Huh. That's fascinating. The connection between just listening and then the physical act of speaking.
Right. By focusing on copying the sounds and the physical production at the same time, you're kind of hardwiring those patterns.
Yeah.
And it can lead to surprisingly quick gains in confidence, too, as you start to actually sound more like a native speaker.
I can see that. Okay, tip number 5 is all about just getting comfortable speaking. It encourages us to practice every single day, even if it's just talking to ourselves. Now, I know that might feel a little odd at first.
Oh, it definitely can feel strange initially, but think of it like a low-stakes rehearsal space.
Right.
No pressure.
Yeah, no audience.
Exactly. Teacher Sam makes a great point. You don't actually need a conversation partner all the time to build fluency. Just describing your daily routine out loud in English.
Like, okay, now I'm making coffee.
Yeah. Or thinking through your goals verbally, maybe role-playing imaginary conversations in your head or even out loud. It's incredibly valuable practice.
And Teacher Sam has another really insightful suggestion here. Record yourself.
Ooh, the dreaded recording.
Yeah, nobody loves hearing their own voice, but listen back critically. It can be really eye-opening. You hear where you naturally pause, maybe where your intonation sounds a bit flat, or which sounds are actually tricky for you.
That's true. It gives you concrete things to work on.
Plus, there's a motivational bit, too. Just doing that daily private practice can really build your courage for when you do have to speak in public.
That's a huge psychological advantage, actually. By just normalizing the act of speaking English, even when you're alone, you gradually chip away at the anxiety you might feel in real conversations.
Makes sense. Okay, tip number 6 flips things around. It focuses on the other side of communication, improving our listening skills with native content.
Ah, yes. Just as crucial as speaking, maybe even more so initially, is being able to actually understand spoken English in its natural, fast, sometimes messy form.
Right, not the slowed down learner stuff.
Exactly. Teacher Sam strongly recommends immersing yourself in authentic content, stuff made for native English speakers. So TV shows, movies, podcasts like this one, interviews, YouTube videos.
It can be tempting, though, can't it? To just stick with the language learning materials because they feel safer, easier.
Totally tempting. But there's huge value in challenging yourself with the real deal. Teacher Sam offers a practical strategy for this.
Okay, what is it?
Start by watching or listening with subtitles on. English subtitles, preferably. That helps with initial understanding, gives you that scaffold.
Right, get the gist.
Then go back and experience the same content without the subtitles. Actively try to pick out words and phrases you know. Maybe even try repeating some of the lines you catch.
So it's a layered approach. Subtitles first for support, then raw listening to train your ear.
Exactly. It forces your brain to really process the sounds, the rhythm, the flow of natural speech.
Got it. Okay, tip number 7 dives into something that's often overlooked, but apparently vital. Learning the music of English, intonation and rhythm.
Yes. This is so important. It's often what truly separates someone who speaks English correctly, grammatically, from someone who actually sounds like a native speaker.
The music.
Yeah, as Teacher Sam puts it, English has its own unique melody. It's in the way you stress certain syllables, the rise and fall of your voice. These things convey not just the literal meaning, but also emotion, attitude, nuance.
So it's not just what you say, but how you say it.
Precisely. And Teacher Sam has a great fluency tip for working on this. Record yourself reading a sentence aloud.
Okay, recording again.
Yeah. Then find a recording of a native speaker saying the same sentence. Compare them side by side.
And listen for what specifically.
Pay close attention to where they place the emphasis, the stress. Notice the speed, the rhythm, the overall emotional tone. Then actively try to adjust your own delivery to match theirs more closely.
So it's direct comparison and conscious adjustment.
That's the key. It helps you internalize those prosodic features, the melody, the rhythm. It moves you beyond just getting the words right to capturing that natural flow and expressiveness.
Right. making it sound less robotic, maybe.
Exactly.
Okay, tip number 8 brings us back to the main goal, building real conversations, not just, collecting grammar rules.
This is such a crucial shift in mindset for learners. Grammar is important, obviously. It provides the foundation.
Sure, the structure.
But fluency, at the end of the day, is about your ability to communicate effectively, naturally. Teacher Sam really stresses focusing on getting your message across rather than obsessing over every single grammatical detail being perfect.
And I love the advice that comes with this. Make mistakes.
Yes, embrace the mistakes.
It sounds counterintuitive, but making mistakes means you're actually doing it. You're putting yourself out there, you're trying, and every interaction, even the ones with errors, is a valuable learning opportunity.
Absolutely. It takes the pressure off chasing some impossible ideal of perfection right from the start. It puts the focus squarely on actual communication, which is the whole point, isn't it?
It really is. It's about embracing a more communicative approach.
Yeah.
The goal isn't flawlessness, especially not at first. It's just being understood and improving step by step through actually talking to people.
Well said.
Okay, tip number 9 brings technology into the mix, using fluency apps and online tools strategically.
And we live in an amazing age for this, right? There are incredible language learning resources just fingertips away. Teacher Sam points to specific examples like ELSA, speak for really targeted pronunciation feedback.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that one. It tells you exactly how you mispronounce something.
Yeah, it gives quite detailed feedback. Then there's Fluent, which uses real-world videos, movie clips, news, talks to help you learn in context.
Context is key.
Definitely. And platforms like HelloTalk or Tandem connect you directly with native speakers for practice exchanges.
So actual conversations with real people.
Real people, real time. And don't forget things like Anki flashcards for vocabulary building using spaced repetition. Still super effective.
So these tools offer really targeted help, from fixing pronunciation to having genuine chats. Teacher Sam even suggests a productivity hack here. Dedicate just 15 to 30 minutes focus time each day to these tools.
Consistency over cramming.
Exactly. And track your progress weekly. See what's working.
What's really valuable about these digital tools is that personalized feedback loop,
Yeah.
and how they can cater to your specific weak spots, complementing other study methods.
Yeah, fills in the gaps. Okay, tip number 10 highlights something irreplaceable. Human connection. Join an English-speaking club or class.
Right. While the digital tools are amazing and convenient, there's really no perfect substitute for, well, face-to-face interaction, or at least real-time online interaction with a group.
That live dynamic.
Yeah. Teacher Sam really highlights the benefits of joining speaking clubs, whether they're local meetups in a cafe or dedicated online communities. They provide a supportive space specifically for practicing speaking.
And it's not just about random chit-chat, right? Teacher Sam suggests getting involved in more structured activities.
Yeah, like actively participating in role-playing scenarios, trying mini debates, even just telling stories.
Appreciates you a bit more.
It really does. These things push you beyond your conversational comfort zone and help build confidence for different kinds of speaking situations. Plus, there's that emotional boost Teacher Sam mentions.
Ah, yes, the social side.
Making friends, connecting with fellow learners, sharing the struggles and successes of the journey, that can be incredibly motivating.
Definitely less lonely than just studying by yourself.
That sense of community, that shared experience, it's a powerful driver. It helps you stay engaged and push through challenges that might feel overwhelming if you were tackling them alone.
Totally agree. Okay, tip number 11 moves into our heads. Develop a growth mindset.
This is huge. It's all about cultivating the core belief that your language abilities aren't fixed. They're not set in stone. They can be developed, improved through dedication and effort.
So not buying into the idea that some people are just good at languages and others aren't?
Exactly. Teacher Sam emphasizes that fluency is a skill you learn. It's not some innate talent you either possess or you don't. Anyone can learn.
It's so important not to get discouraged then by setbacks or when progress feels slow. Because it often does feel slow.
It really can. And Teacher Sam offers this powerful mental reframe. Instead of thinking, I can't do this,
Which is easy to fall into.
try thinking, I can't do this yet.
Ah, adding the yet. Simple but powerful.
It really is. It reframes the entire situation. It's about embracing the learning process as a journey of continuous improvement, and truly believing in your own potential to grow and get better.
That shift in perspective, seeing challenges not as brick walls, but as like hurdles you can learn to jump over that can make all the difference to your persistence and ultimately your success.
Couldn't agree more. Mindset is fundamental.
And finally, tip number 12. This one kind of ties everything together. Be consistent, be committed, be curious.
Yeah, this wraps it all up nicely. Teacher Sam really underscores that the single most critical factor in reaching fluency isn't some magic bullet or hidden talent.
No quick fixes.
No, it's the consistent effort you put in day after day, week after week in the right areas like the ones we've discussed.
So sticking to your learning plan, even when you don't feel like it sometimes.
Yes, and acknowledging your progress, celebrating the small wins along the way, and crucially, maintaining a genuine curiosity. Be interested in the English language itself, the cultures it opens up.
Keep that spark alive.
Exactly. And there's a really grounding piece of daily motivation advice here, too.
Wow.
Regularly remind yourself why you started learning English in the first place.
Connect back to your why.
Yeah. Is it for a better job? For travel? Just personal enrichment? Remembering that core reason, that dream of fluency.
Yeah.
It helps you see that it's absolutely worth the ongoing commitment.
That intrinsic motivation, that personal connection to your goals, that's the fuel that keeps the engine running in the long run, isn't it?
Absolutely. It sustains your effort and drives you forward when things get tough.
So there you have it. A deep dive into 12, I think, incredibly practical tips for really accelerating your English fluency, all drawn from Teacher Sam's expert advice. The central message seems pretty clear. Getting to that natural, confident level of English. It's definitely within your grasp. And by consistently applying these strategies, it might happen a lot sooner than you think.
Yeah, it's less about chasing some impossible standard of perfection.
I forget perfection.
And more about cultivating confidence, clarity when you speak, and just a genuine, natural way of expressing yourself in English.
And as you listening, reflect on these tips, maybe think about which ones really resonated, which ones feel like they can make the biggest difference for you right now.
Yeah, which ones can you realistically start integrating into your daily or weekly routine, maybe starting today or tomorrow? Remember, even really small, consistent actions based on these ideas can compound over time. They lead to significant progress.
That's a fantastic point. Small steps add up. So maybe our final thought for you today is this. Out of these 12 powerful tips, which single one will be your priority? What will you commit to implementing this coming week?
And maybe visualize it. How do you see that small change starting to unlock new possibilities, new opportunities in your life?
It really is all about taking that first deliberate step, isn't it? On your ongoing journey toward confident, natural English fluency.